I don't drink soda. Check. Are you one or two? We don't have them labeled anymore, so I guess it's just guesswork.
I think you're 1 and I'm 3.
That seems.
Computer, stop.
Computer is 2?
No, 2 is dead. Computer?
Yeah, I know you're not.
Computer. Volume 10.
Computer.
Two's a dead channel.
Don't say anything for the next 45 minutes.
Great. Yeah, number 2 is dead. Number 2 is no longer an active channel. Number 4.
4 is very active.
Dead channel. Number 4 is a dead channel. Now, these are channels that have shorted out. Something's wrong with them. They've been corrupted.
It happens. It happens to... I mean, I've been corrupted.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But luckily, your channel has not been corrupted.
Thank goodness.
So channel 1's good. Keep that up. Everything else, we crank it down. Channel 3's up. Channel 5, soundboard. Channel 5 is soundboard. Channel 5 is good. Channel 5 is also popular news station, YouTube news station.
Yeah.
Ran by Andy Callahan.
Does he go by Andy now?
I think.
Just you call him Andy?
Yeah, we're tight. You know, he's a friend of the show, Andy Callahan.
Yeah.
Speaking of soundboard, are you ready for the countdown?
Yes.
Season 9.
Season 9.
Bringing back the countdown.
We're in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess are we? Episode 2 of season 9.
Yeah, but I mean, this potentially could be a very short season. So, like, this could be the season finale of 9.
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know.
We have had a 2-episode season.
We're
before.
going just off vibes here and what feels right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
that's right. So let's start it up and let's vibe.
3, 2, 1.
My name's Awesome Ty.
And my name's Mikey Booyah. Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast. Do you like? Is that like a little less work for you?
Not having to say my name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
If we just kind of hammer it out there, maybe we get a button for me too.
Yeah,
that way we don't have to.
What if we filled up the soundboard with sound bites and we just did an entire episode where we conversated with the soundboard and sound bites?
I like that. We could do 2 soundboards. We each have our own things.
We could do just enough like conversative stuff to where we could potentially have a dialogue back and forth. I mean, there would have to be some statements, some questions, and then some answers to questions. And I don't know how far we could get, but I think we can get maybe 10 minutes or so out of it.
I think we could definitely do it. We can knock it out. And I think the key is setting up a soundboard and think of it like you're a court stenographer. You know how court stenographers' keyboards have like a bunch of weird keys and buttons?
No.
And
no, I don't.
Have you ever seen one?
No.
It's crazy. A
court stenographer is that draws, right?
No. That's a sketch
artist.
artist.
The person that transcribes it.
That keeps the transcription, keeps all the minutes, you know? So they have this keyboard that's not it's not a QWERTY keyboard. This thing's like got weird L-shaped letters and things that you can press simultaneously to create words and phrases.
Oh, so there's kind of like some shortcuts to it. Yeah,
so there's a button that will type out the word and then he. So that
I'm surprised they don't have them doing
it.
Like the swipe right now. You know, wouldn't that be a little bit easier if you got someone that was really good at swipe? The swipe typing.
I think swipe would be the best because that's how I've always done it. I've been swiping for a decade.
I swipe rarely. Sometimes I do, but I don't know. It's just I never really got. I think I just don't like it. I mean, I do see the advantage to it, and it is sometimes, you know, a good shortcut, but...
No, I like it. And now I can't imagine fucking...
You can't imagine typing.
No. So yeah, apparently there's a QWERTY keyboard, and then there's a Quaret keyboard, which looks like this. You see that? And it's got... I haven't rigged this up to the TV yet, but I will. But yeah, see, it's got all these, everything's all different.
It's like a minimalized keyboard. It has less buttons.
Mm-hmm. And then you press certain buttons or a certain combination of buttons, and then that will create a word. So instead of you having to type out the word longhand, you go, and then it goes.
Does it make that clicking sound?
Yeah, it actually has a really cool clicking sound that it makes that's way different than a QWERTY. The QWERTY click, we're conditioned to, we've heard it our whole lives,
yeah,
you know.
Sure.
But the Cobalt or whatever. What's it called? The Quarit keyboard. You've never heard a more satisfying click, dude. I'm telling you.
Damn. So is it almost like
ASMR.
a typewriter type click?
Similar to a typewriter, like a cousin of a typewriter, but a second cousin, once separated. So you could probably kiss at like a family barbecue. It wouldn't be weird.
The QWERTY and the Quaret could kiss, and nobody would be like grossed out by that.
You shouldn't do it in front of people, like in front of the family, but it wouldn't be something that you would have to be ashamed of.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine. You're good. So we get a stenographer type soundboard where we could press a combination of buttons and it'll ask a whole question, is what I'm saying, you know?
I dig it.
So once we get that new technology, we create it, we implement it, then we're going to do that episode full futuristic, full soundboard. Because what's the point of communicating, you know?
I feel like it's becoming less and less important.
Like
As technology advances, we're really going to have to, why should I have to use my vocal cords like a sucker? Why should I have to speak when we can communicate, through technology?
Yeah, that does seem like really old
Comes
school.
passe. Yeah.
It's like when you're a kid, you ride a bike everywhere, and you're like, oh man, this is getting me across town so quick. This is so cool. It's so convenient. Then you get a car, and you're like, why the fuck would I ride a bike?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. I have a car.
Exactly.
There's no reason to ride a bike. That's way too much effort. So that's kind of how I'm getting with talking. And there was that video that you sent me the other day. I woke up in the morning. I got it. I watched it. Fresh out of bed.
Oh, the guy complaining about AI.
Complaining about AI and how originally it was marketed to kind of like bad people, lazy people and bad people that were like the dad that got birthday gifts from his daughter, and then the mom was like, "Oh shit, I forgot it was his birthday," and then had AI make a
and that was
slideshow.
like a Apple campaign, like a whole Apple campaign of people just being like lazy pieces of shit with their new Apple technology, which for one thing isn't even that great. I mean,
well, it doesn't do its full thing yet. Like in the very first commercial where they used the Chris Calico song "Genius" during that ad campaign. Do you remember that?
No.
There was the very first commercial where it showed the girl. She was at the coffee shop. The guy walks in, and she goes, "Oh fuck," and then she goes, "Hey yo, bitch," which is, Siri. I just don't want to like trigger everyone's phones. So she says, "Hey yo, bitch, what was the name of the guy that I met at Cafe Grendel 2 months ago?" And then it pulled up her calendar,
Pulls it up.
pulled up that schedule from 2 months ago, found his name, and then told it to her. And it doesn't have that technology yet. It can't access your apps.
Nope. And then there was another one where these children are giving their father birthday gifts, which are very thoughtful, and the mom's just sitting in the other room like a lazy piece of shit, forgets that it's her husband's birthday, and she's done nothing for this man, and she's just like, oh, great, my kids are giving him birthday gifts. Well, I better, try to rapidly shuffle something out. And she makes a little shitty slideshow with the Apple AI and gives it to him and tries to one-up her children.
Yeah. And actually interrupts the gift giving in this beautiful moment with his kids to go, here, look at this slideshow.
Why are all the people that you're depicting in this series of commercials, like, why are they pieces of shit? Like, they're not likable people. They're clearly people that...
Yeah.
It's just...
And that was supposed to be us. That was supposed to be... We're supposed to identify with those people.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be like, oh, yeah, I want to be a lazy piece of shit.
And then the big thing that really hit me that he was talking about was how we'll type out a short, lazy message and have Apple Intelligence or just any AI rewrite it into a long, fancy, professional, cohesive...
Sounds all great.
Statement.
Yeah. And then when the person receives it, Apple is then taking that lengthy, cohesive message and dumbing it down back into like a little paragraph notification.
Just like the first thing you wrote, but just worded differently. And it's taking away all of the human communication and interaction. And it's just two AIs talking to each other.
Yeah. And I've actually It's hit home a couple of times because I've been dealing with some like applying for jobs and job interviews and what have you. And there's been a couple of responses that I've received from potential employers that were very clearly AI generated. And I'm like, oh, this is a thing now. Like
Yeah.
this is a thing. Like it's
And that's why I've kind of always stayed away from AI writing tools. Like I'll use writing tools to give me different ideas of how to phrase things. And there is sometimes where like you're having a hard time getting your point across.
Yeah.
And you could use the writing tools to make it like very clear what you're trying to say.
yeah.
But I'll take that and then I'll write my own things around it. So I don't just take it, rewrite it, shoot it off as AI because it feels like really impersonal.
Yeah, it does. It really does, especially, when people who are familiar with AI writing patterns like
Yeah,
myself,
you can see
I can see I'm like, oh, great. They just stripped my humanity from me. They're sending me an AI response
Yeah.
to this like personal thing that I sent them.
And one thing that I notice is that like professional emails from older people, I've gotten a lot that will have two versions. So it has the professional email, the rewritten version, and then there's like a bunch of lines like dashes, and then underneath it's their original version that they didn't delete. They kept it there for some reason.
That's wild.
So they put themselves on blast as if you couldn't tell already.
I mean, that's demoralizing when you receive something like that from somebody in a professional setting, and so you're like, "Oh, great!
Yeah.
they hit me with the AI." Okay,
But now, all the browsers that you use, especially like at business settings, they all have Microsoft Gemini built in now, or all these different AIs to where you open up your work email and it'll say, hey, we can help you rewrite this with AI. There's all these little pop-ups now and it's built in, so it makes it real easy to use. And now when you see an email and it'll give you a full written out response and you're so busy, you're just like, all right, on to the next thing. And we're just going to let them do all the interaction with us. And it'll be really easy for AI to direct us and do whatever they want. Just herd us, pretty much herding us like cattle. Because
Yeah.
we're not even reading the messages anymore.
I mean, I feel like this is something that can only lead to potential problems down the line.
So yeah, why are we so against AI right now? I forgot.
We saw a video by YouTuber Drew Gooden.
Oh, okay, that's who it was.
He's like a Gen Z YouTuber that he's typically up in arms about something. He's kind of like he's a Gen Z YouTuber, but he's kind of like a stick in the mud. Most of his videos are him complaining about something like AI or this isn't the way it should be. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
so
I
that's
gotcha.
kind of his whole MO to begin with. But he did make some convincing points about AI.
Yeah, he did. He got me on that one. And we were like,
Hey, what is going on here?
A lot of finger wagging.
yeah, quite a bit. So I have something really exciting I want to talk about.
Okay.
And this is, I don't know if you're familiar with other countries, other cultures in the world.
Define familiar.
Do you know about like very base level things in other countries' cultures? Like if I were to say the samurai.
The samurai, sure. That's like a part of Japanese culture.
Okay, now what if I were to say something like the Eiffel Tower?
France.
Okay. Now, how about the pyramids of Giza?
Of what?
Giza?
Giza.
Yeah, pyramids.
Pyramids.
The Great Pyramid of Giza.
Of Egypt.
Egypt. Yes.
Egypt. Is Giza slang for
Well, the pyramids
Egypt,
are
or
technically on the Giza Strip.
the Gaza Strip.
That's what I mean. Wait, is it the pyramids of Gaza?
I thought it was
Or is it Giza?
the Egyptian pyramids.
Computer, what is the Pyramid of Giza?
The Pyramid of Giza is one of the most well-known pyramids in Egypt.
Okay, so
It is
the
the biggest
computer
pyramid
stop.
built by
Computer
the
stop.
ancient
Computer
Egyptians.
stop.
Computer, stop!
Okay, so the Pyramid of Giza is the main pyramid, but then the Gaza Strip is a different thing.
I think they're close by because
So
Trump
the
was talking
Gizas-
about he was talking about sending all of the people from Gaza over to Egypt and being like, yeah, Egypt will take them in and take care of them. So I think they geographically are, located beside one another. But
Okay, so I think it's the Giza Strip is what I'm thinking about, where the
Okay.
pyramids are.
okay,
And there's these, I want to say they're French scientists. Here, I have this this article pulled up. So these scientists, right? It doesn't say where they're from, but they're not from Egypt. Okay, they're from another place. They're from France, I think, allegedly. These scientists use this new ground penetrating radar that has been recently developed and honed into a pretty reliable source of viewing under the ground.
how reliable?
Pretty reliable.
Pretty fairly.
It sends you back scans, colorful scans of where there's organic matter, where there's non-organic matter, where there's metals, any sort of structural items or stone. It'll give you all of the readings of underground, and then like a fish finder. You know fish finders?
Yeah, I'm familiar with fish finders.
So it looks down into the lake. It tells you, how deep until the bottom of the ocean, and then it gives you little pings for the fish
Right.
that are swimming around. And depending on how big the signal is, the fish will be bigger. And you go, that's a honker right there. We got to stop here. We got to fish here. So they do that just in the ground. And they've been pointing it at stuff. They took it out in their backyard. They found a dead bird that their dog
I'm
buried.
thinking like a metal detector type situation where you're just kind of scanning the ground with like a thing that you hold in your hand, kind of looks like a broom or some other sort of metal detector like device.
Now, I haven't seen it, but it's interesting that you think it's like a metal detector, because I think it's more like a Vision Pro. Like you put on a
okay.
headset.
Well, yeah, I guess, a metal detector would be kind of dated at this point. Now, yeah, it might be a headset, like an Oculus type headset or even something fancier.
Or it could be more of like a gun, like a radar gun.
Guns are very popular.
Yeah, they take the gun, they shoot it into the ground, it shoots the signal. The fish finder finds the fish.
Do we have a gun so we could show for like an example? It's right there.
So they take the gun, they point it down, they shoot the gun a few times,
Desk pop.
and then it finds the fish, it does the thing, and it sends back the readings of what's under there. You'll never believe what they found. Okay.
I'm all ears.
Now, the pyramids, huge structures. You are all ears. I see them. They're out right now.
Yeah.
Pyramids, huge structures. And what have we always said about the pyramids? How did they make them?
Oh yeah.
You know, how did they do that?
Yeah, we've had theories that it was slave-based labor, so where the Egyptian pharaoh he'd rounded up thousands and thousands of slaves, possibly millions, and just forced them into just the most grueling labor possible at the time, and they were constructed just via grueling slave labor over the course of hundreds of years. I think that's been the predominant theory.
Yeah.
But records, official records of that time were spotty at best. So, I mean, who's to say that it wasn't alien based? I think that theory has been presented over, the course of time, especially on the History Channel.
Yeah, pretty popular on the History Channel. I think one of the things I remember seeing is a old drawing on papyrus or something like that of this giant rock. There was hundreds of people behind it pushing it. There was another hundreds of people in front of it pulling it. And then there was people on the front, on the top, that were pouring water down. And the idea was that the water would compact the sand and make it easier to slide it over the flat, hard sand.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of getting stuck.
I'm not an archaeologist. I'm not a historian, so it's really hard for me to definitively say how they would have done that. But
Yeah.
I think that's, with the understanding of science that we have, I think that's probably the most likely theory, but at the same time, it's like, I
Nobody
don't know.
knows.
That still doesn't really add up.
Yeah.
You know, it's still like just a massive undertaking. I'm not 100% convinced on that.
So think about how long we've been looking at this and we've been trying to figure this out about how they did it, how they built it. We still don't know. There's all these different theories, but no one really knows exactly how it happened. Well, now thanks to this ground penetrating radar, they shot into the ground and found out that underneath the main pyramid is a series of tube structures.
They look like, based on what you showed me, they look like giant screws that have been screwed into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
so they're kind of tubular,
they're cylindrical, and they have like a
spiral
quartz-
going
spiral
around the
going-
outside of it.
And they just, frankly, they just add more questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't make the explanation of how these pyramids were built any more understandable.
It makes it way more unbelievable.
It's like, wait, what the fuck?
So there's these giant tubes that go down with this spiral thing that kind of implies a staircase or some sort of access tunnel going down there. And then underneath it are these big giant rooms, 2 big square rooms that are, you know, like 400 feet tall. And computer, how tall is the Statue of Liberty?
God damn it,
Statue of
computer.
Liberty is
Sorry.
305 feet tall.
305 feet tall. So you could fit the Statue of Liberty in this room with plenty of room to spare.
And that's a large statue.
And there's 2 of these rooms down there. There's these structures that go up. In total, it's 6,500 feet below the surface is structure, built structure, man-made structure down there. Man-made. And now we don't know what the fuck's going on because the pyramids already were a mystery. And now there's...
And without, I mean, modern excavation technology, how would you have dug those? Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, the pyramids were already one of the great wonders of the world. And now apparently there's a million more questions that we have about them.
Their top wonder. So these guys put out their findings and they were like, check it out. And then everyone was like, you're crazy, you know? Obviously, this is bullshit.
That's the default thing that you would just go to in this situation nowadays is be like, no, you're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying. Your technology's bullshit.
But just a few days ago, they released all of their data and all their findings.
Okay.
Proving that there actually is structures underneath the pyramids that extend 6,500 feet. They're vibing down there. There's all kinds of shit going on. And we just now are starting to learn it. And that's like one of the craziest things to me about us as a species is that when we were kids in 1990, we thought that there was 9 planets in the solar system or in the universe. Sorry. 9 planets in the whole universe, and they were our planets. Yeah. And now we know that every star in the sky has its own.
But see, do we know
solar
that?
system.
Because I feel like now in this current political climate, now more than ever, proof is more subjective than ever. So it's like, yeah, you may have a bunch of data and science, but like, what does that mean to me if I choose to say you're lying?
True. It's all about what you believe.
What does medical science know if I choose to believe that vaccines are just complete bullshit? Or, you know what I mean? So it's really...
It's all about what you choose
us
to believe.
To decide.
But I believe that, space and planets are real. And we're still within our lifetime learning so much about this and uncovering so many things about other solar systems and parts of the universe and galaxies and the way that black holes work and all this shit. So we're going to learn what's going on underneath the pyramids. Like within the next 5 years or 10 years, all that's going to be uncovered by people that are going to go and research it.
I feel like the best bet is to just destroy these pyramids. And hear me out, because that's gonna sound like a hot take to some.
It is.
But yeah. I mean, we would be destroying one of the great wonders of the world, something that's been there long before we ever were. But at the same time, destroying them and excavating them and finding out for ourselves, seeing is believing. Although, again, seeing is subjective at this stage of the game. But I feel like if we were to just blow these pyramids up, we bring in some bulldozers, we do some digging, and we see for ourselves. And then, maybe we can't rebuild them, but at least then we would know. We would know, with a relative degree of certainty. Again, completely subjective, but...
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking this up right now, and I'm seeing that the pyramids might not even be one of the 7 wonders of the world. Because apparently there's a new 7 wonders of the world.
Oh, okay.
That are, out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
What did the old ones used to be?
I think there was Stonehenge. Honestly, I don't know. I should probably know this, but I don't. Andre the Giant was one of them. Or maybe he was the 8th. He was the 8th wonder of the world.
Oh,
But,
yeah. He was
depending
the
on
8th.
how you rank them, Andre the Giant could go as high as 1. I mean, again, this is subjective.
Yeah, you're right. It is subjective because I'm seeing a lot of different lists. But what really matters is that there are the new. Okay. Here we go.
No,
So
I would like to check in with the Trump administration and get an idea as to what, like people like RFK and Musk and Trump are telling us are the current wonders of the world. Because honestly, what does the old ones matter?
Yeah,
if
the old ones
if there's
really
a
don't
new
matter.
list and the new list could be, completely different. Could
So here I actually have the official new list.
be
Here.
SpaceX.
No. The first one is the Great Wall of China. It's a modern wonder of the world.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, I guess.
I guess.
Christ the Redeemer
Jesus Christ.
in Rio de Janeiro. It's a statue of Christ, and he's got his arms out, not in a crucified
It's just
fashion,
a statue, though?
but in an airplane. Yeah, you never seen
See,
that
I
statue?
feel like Jesus Christ, like the myth, the
wonder.
legend.
Well,
he's the wonder.
he doesn't exist depending on who you ask. This statue exists for everyone. So I think that's what makes it a wonder of the world. Machu Picchu?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
No, Machu Picchu, which is a ancient civilization that was uncovered by Giorgio Tsoukas from the Ancient Alien show on History Channel.
Oh, okay. Okay, I do trust him.
And it was an ancient Inca citadel located in the Andes Mountains of Peru.
Okay.
Then we got Chichen Itza.
Nope.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it once.
And apparently that's new. Petra is another new wonder of the world. And that's in Jordan. And it's this big, structure that's carved into the rock.
Okay. Well,
In
you
this
know what?
crevasse.
Mount Rushmore.
No,
Mount
Rushmore's not on the
Rushmore.
list.
How did that become a thing? There were just
yeah.
these. There's a mountain just perfectly shaped like 4 of the best presidents.
No.
That defies
No,
logic.
people made that. Slaves made that.
We don't know that. We don't know. Again, these are.
I just
the
went
point I'm
there.
trying to make
I've been
here
there.
is that we can no longer trust the historical records that tell us the way things came to be. We have to do our own research, in our own heads, and then determine the validity of these things based on a case by case basis.
Okay, well, how do you feel about the Colosseum being one of the new wonders
The
of the
Los
world?
Angeles Coliseum, former home of the Los Angeles Raiders.
No, no. The Colosseum in Rome. The ancient Roman Colosseum.
What about it?
It's a wonder of the world.
It was built by slaves.
Okay. What about Taj Mahal?
Taj Mahal, slaves. Slave labor for all of these things, probably.
Yeah, these things probably are all slave labor. Yeah, we should really have our new wonders of the world. I think that SpaceX should be one. You're on to one
got
for that.
SpaceX, you've got,
Mount Rushmore.
yeah, Mount Rushmore.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then what was the other one that you just said?
Mar-a-Lago. Have you seen the landscaping at Mar-a-Lago? It's pristine. It's pristine. The golf course?
No, I don't want to make it political, so we can't do Mar-a-Lago. But we could do Mount Rushmore, which is political.
It's pretty sick,
Yeah. So we got SpaceX, we got Mount Rushmore, we got the LA Coliseum,
Yeah, the LA Coliseum.
where the Rams used to play.
Los Angeles Raiders used to
Los
play.
Angeles Raiders used to play. Then we have the Superdome in New Orleans, where all those people got murdered and raped during the hurricane. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was also destroyed and rebuilt. Like, I don't particularly recall that happening. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
modern wonder.
Right. Then we have, what else do we have? Our modern wonder of the world. Area 51 is pretty cool in
Area
Vegas.
51. I mean, we got to keep it American, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure, other parts of the world have what they would call wonders. But, I mean,
This is the world as we know it, So Area 51, or did I mean Area 15? Which one's the real one?
it's 50. Well, the real one, I mean, again, we don't know.
Area 15 is the art exhibit by Meow Wolf or whatever.
Banksy's one.
Banksy?
Like,
He's
we
not
don't-
American.
We don't know who Banksy is.
Banksy's not American.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, shit. My bad.
He's from, computer, where's Banksy from?
Nobody knows. Very little is known about the
Banksy was
man.
born in Bristol.
Bristol, Connecticut.
I don't think it's Bristol, Connecticut. I think Bristol's in across the pond somewhere. But we can't, if you want to do Banksy, we could do Banksy.
New Banksy.
All right, we'll do Banksy. And then the last wonder of the world, last but not least, obviously, is going to be, what's it called? The place with the thing. You get all the things there. You can get everything there.
Oh, what was it called?
Yeah,
It
you know
was
what
on
I
the
mean.
dark web and they took it down.
The Silk Road.
Silk Road.
Yeah,
The Silk Road.
Yeah, and number 7 is the Silk Road, obviously.
R.I.P.
So let's run them back one more time.
Running back. The Silk Road.
No, not backwards. Let's run it from the top. Otherwise, we're gonna forget what the first one was. The first one was
SpaceX.
SpaceX, Mount Rushmore. Then we got the Coliseum,
The LA Coliseum.
LA Coliseum. We got the Superdome.
The Superdome.
Then we have area
Banksy.
Area 15,
Area 15. Okay.
Banksy, and the last one, the Silk Road.
The Silk Road.
Okay,
I
there we
mean,
go.
those are all wonders for sure.
Yeah. So now that we have our new list of the 7 wonders of the world, I think that we make the 8th wonder of the world Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
And
yeah.
then the 9th wonder of the world.
It's China.
No.
It's the female wrestler China. That's what they called her. The ninth
Did
wonder.
they call her the 9th wonder?
Yeah, that was her nickname.
Fuck. Okay.
So we gotta go
then
10.
the 9th wonder is China, and then number 10 is under the pyramids.
Okay.
Not
fair
the
enough.
pyramids themselves. They're not
The
wonderful
Luxor
anymore.
in Vegas.
Oh, I wonder if that light has something to do with like it's coming from under the pyramids
Could
from
be.
Vegas. But I think that under the Egyptian pyramids, where these tubes and these buildings are, that should be wonder number 10. And we should have 13 wonders of the world, I think.
Yeah, 13 feels right.
Yeah, right?
Superstitious number.
And, the next 3 we'll reveal at a later date.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a poll or something. But, yeah, that's crazy, man. What's going on down there,
You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder.
You gotta wonder. All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Podcast.
I don't drink soda.